What's up, my ninjas? It's your boy Arch hollering at y'all right now. I have a pretty cool idea right now. I'm playing in about to start a 5e campaign. My first full campaign experience with 5e. I played one session. I had a dragonborn sorcerer. He was like Batista. I made it to where he didn't really like to use his magic. He just grappled and punched people in the face. I grappled a Medusa, wrestled her to the ground, and pretended to kill her when the sorcerer killed her with magic. I was like, I did it! It was like, good job. So I got credit on that. But I don't think I'm going to play him. I'm not really sure how to roleplay a Dragonborn. I don't have enough. It's a brand new race, and I really like to put as much nuance on a race as possible. I don't really know anything about Dragonborn except for the fact that they look like Cthulhu, and they're like related to a dragon, which is badass, man. You get breath weapon. You know I'm trying to get some like lightning breath. Please, boy, let me get lightning breath. I think that dude had a cold breath. He was a silver dragon spawn. But that's neither here nor there. The purpose of this video is for you guys to help me select my character for this upcoming campaign. I have 3 characters made. I told everybody I'm playing the gnome because, you know, I love gnomes. That's just I love to play small characters that are beastly. Like, if you're tiny and you can whoop an ass, then I want to play you because that's just cool to me. It's like the underdog. I don't know, that's just my style. I usually play magic classes, so I'm really interested in not playing a magic class. If it has a little bit of magic, that's okay. One of the characters in here does have magic, divine magic, but that's because that's just who that person is. I have 2 gnomes and a human. Neither of the gnomes have magic, and they're both frontline. Fuck you. All these characters are pretty much frontline. So let's jump into it. The one that I was going to play, that I made up first for this campaign, her name is, I'm basically calling her Lil Hammer, but she has like lots of names because she's a gnome female fighter. I don't know if you know how gnomes work, but basically many people give them names, different people. So like she has a name from her father, she has a name from her mother, she has a name from her grandma, she has a name from her friends, and she has a family name. Her family name is Willowitz. She's a noble. She's a gnome noble. Her mother is like a princess, and her mother's sister, Lil Hammer's mom's sister, is like the queen. And Lil Hammer's mom and sister are kind of fucked up. They like murdered Lil Hammer's dad and brother for some unknown devious purpose, and Lil Hammer found out about it and left the family secretly. Well, she didn't actually secretly leave, but she didn't tell anybody, and like, they just found out that she was gone, and they couldn't really say anything about it because they discerned that she left because she found out about these shenanigans. So she took her brother's warhammer, which in 5e is kind of weird how weapons work. There's no size class, and then there's also this thing called heavy tag on a weapon, and small creatures cannot wield heavy weapons, so I can't use a great sword, I can't use a great axe, I can't use the Tetsubo that I originally wanted to use. So I just took a warhammer. I'm just basically making it like Mjolnir, but if it's Mjolnir size and I'm 3 feet tall, that's as big as me. It's basically a warhammer for me. So she has a warhammer and a breastplate. They both have the crest of her family on them, which is a hammer with an anvil and a silver chain around it. Her family is in charge of a town that has a silver mine in it. She left the town and got training, further fighter training. She wields that hammer and a chain. That's her fighting, what she uses to fight. I think that's pretty fucking badass. She has green hair, green eyes, anime style. She Another cool thing about the gnomes in 5e is there's sub-races in for all races. One of the sub-races for gnomes in 5e is Tinker Gnomes. And you get little clockwork toy type deals. She has a music box that plays a song that reminds her of her family. And she has a little toy of her brother and a little toy of her father. Oh, and the sickest thing about this character, and the thing that basically sparked my idea for playing her, was that she knew about this thing, and she had taken a vow of silence until she's able to reveal what she knows about her family and set things right, and, like, you know, give her brother and father the honor that she thinks they deserve. So she doesn't speak. That's going to be a really hard character to roleplay, but also fun. I just imagined her revealing her character and her morals and the way that she thinks through her actions. And I think I could really put that over. I think that would be fun and also difficult and neat. And a different style character, because usually I play a very verbose, if not eloquent character. at least I say a lot. Y'all have watched Trying videos. That boy goes ham. So I thought this would be a challenge and also fun. I've never played a fighter. I've always played magic characters, so that'll be cool. And that's Lil Hammer, or Elli Willowitz, which is her official birth name, Elli Willowitz. So that's number 1, green-haired gnome fighter chick. The next character is also a gnome. His name is Mixlestix, and he's a monk. Like I said, I wanted to play characters that fight. You just get in there with weapons, or this dude doesn't really use weapons, he just punches. I kind of wanted to make him grapple-y, but I'm concerned about it. Because, you know, there's rules about small characters grappling, and he's going to be taking disadvantage all the time. It's not really going to be successful. But also, he could just be a sick little darting and weaving, bobbing and weaving, punch you in the head type dude, which would be super badass. I've never played a monk. I'm into Asian culture. I love Japanese culture, man, so I know about ninjas and all of that. That's my style, man. I could really get over on this. I haven't really fleshed out this dude's story as much. He's the least fleshed out of these characters, just because I spent most of my time making Lil Hammer. But, I mean, if I pick the dude, you know he's going to get fleshed out. The 5e has a really cool system where you can roll out or choose backgrounds. It's built into the character sheet. It really helps roleplay for newer people. Old D&D systems are real combat heavy, and it's just build your skills, build your stats, build your weapons, and you can go play. It doesn't never even ask you, like, why? Why do you have that weapon? Why do you have that armor? Why do you know those skills? Like, yes, you have an 8 concentration and an 8 spellcraft and an 8 knowledge arcana. Why? You have nothing else. Like, you can't do anything else. It's weird, right? Like, my characters never have that. Boy, my skills, I have skills. I've learned things. And there's a fucking reason why I learned those things. So this is a cool part of 5e. Mixlestix has the Outlander background. I chose to make a sort of a pilgrim. He's a forest gnome, so I have him sort of an honorable. All of these characters are lawful. Lil Hammer is lawful good. Mixlestix is lawful neutral. One of the options for a bond, I guess it's called a bond. I chose, he suffers awful visions of a coming disaster and will do anything to prevent it. So I figured that's a good reason for him to be journeying with everybody. He's an outlander, and he started having these, as soon as he really centered his chakra and his chi, and he's like, oh, damn, he got in tune with something and started getting these visions of this terrible, terrible disaster, this catastrophe, calamity to befall society. And he's like, oh man, I must do something about this with my powers, and even though I be but small, I shall prevail. And so he's pretty cool. I really like the idea of a tiny dude who just catches arrows and chunks of light you, right? Like, and he can punch you, stun you with one punch. That's tight. So that's him. As far as looks of Mixlestix is going to be, I'm going to make him be kind of a nice looking gnome. Even though he is an outlander, I'm going to have him not be like super rough. Because he's a pilgrim, he's not exactly like just a druid style outlander. He journeys from civilization to civilization. So while he eschews material possessions, he still knows that in order to be accepted in all circles, you have to present yourself in a certain way. So he stays fresh and clean. He has nice robes. It's like the only clothes he really has is his robes. He might have a crappier set of robes, but he has like one set of robes. Nice robes. He's going to be basically just a brown-haired, brown-eyed gnome, normal gnome. But that's only if you look at him. Like, he harbors a great strength of spirit. And stat-wise, that boy don't play. He's got that 20 dex. We made him up to level 8. I think we're starting to rise a Tiamat. So we were starting at 8. So he's beastly, man. His armor class is fucking redonkulous. If you haven't built a monk in 5e, you need to check that out. It's fucking ham. So that's Mixlestix. I think he could be really fun into gnomes. He has the starting stuff, gives you weapons. I might just erase that because I'm not going to use weapons. He might get some throwing knives at some point, maybe. It might be cool. Or maybe some shuriken if I can finagle that into the setting. The DM probably won't want that, but I'll just grab... Actually, no, this is not unique. This is a different DM. So I'll probably be able to give me some shuriken, boy. You know I'm going to give me some shuriken. Shadow Shuriken Jutsu! Naruto, that's my show. Anyways, let's go to this last character y'all can help me pick from. Choose from these 3. This character is an NPC from the campaign that I created. She's basically the head of the good army. The army of light, the army of good. And I think she's a cleric and a paladin of Cuthbert. She's a multi-class character. Her name is Allia. I got the name from the Dune series. Muad'Dib's freak sister. Basically a child awoken to consciousness in the womb and given all the knowledge of like all her ancestors. Like the creepiest kid you can imagine. Just like if you met a baby and a baby was talking to you and like saying things that were more wise than you could even fathom, and it's like a baby and you're like 40, you're like, that's fucking creepy. So that's the basis for this character. This chick isn't creepy. She's a holy warrior. Lawful good character, human, blonde hair, blue eyes, maybe brown eyes. I'm gonna go blonde and brown because that seems a little bit more normal, more plain. Her charisma is legit, but her charisma comes from her strength of personality. Because you got to think of this girl in my campaign, in my setting. There's one large city that leads the forces of good. It's like the only bastion left to man and civilized races. And it's protected by like all the good gods, which I sort of changed the gods up so it could be more... The neutral gods were basically wiped out by evil when they wouldn't fight. So they were like, well, if you won't fight, if you're truly sticking to neutrality, then I'll smote you down while you just stand there. So that's what evil did. Fuck you. So the good gods have been like dispersed. They still exist, but they're like dispersed and regaining their strength. So the good city's protected by them. And out of all the representatives of the good gods, this is the one character who has risen above them because of her devotion and like just the honor that she shows and wields. And she's beastly. Like, if you face her in combat, she'll best you. And what's even more cool about her is, you know, she doesn't kill people, man. She's lawful good. That's why she was OP in my campaign. I don't know how I'm going to make her exactly OP in this, but it'll be really fun to play just a lawful good character, especially a multi-class, man. In 5e, I can use basically all my paladin spells to enhance my weapons, and then still have my cleric spells. So that'll be cool. Or I'm sure I could just use paladin spells to buff myself. The only reason I really need the paladin class is for armor proficiencies. She definitely needs plate. She needs heavy armor, and for mounted combat, because she also needs a legendary mount. She needs to ride like a Pegasus, something holy, like maybe a unicorn, something white. She has to ride something white, because she's like the brightest light of all the gods. Like she will wreak vengeance upon all who stand opposed to holiness and like good. She's not brook any type of shenanigans. So this could be problematic for the party. We have a robe, and we also do have a paladin, but this chick, she's not so much of a tank as she is like a fucking commander type character. Like, I guess the closest thing to Pathfinder I could think of would be like a cavalier. She's pretty much like that, except she has divine magic because she's touched by this god, Cuthbert. In the setting, I just used D&D gods. I don't know exactly what gods he'll be using. I might re-choose. But Cuthbert was the one who looked out for the weak and protected them. That's why I chose her, because I just feel like that was a perfect fit for the person who guards and protects and defends this city from like this overwhelming onslaught. So that's Allia. You might want to choose her. You might want to choose the monk, Mixlestix. You know I can get my kick on. That boy will be bobbing and weaving and jumping and dodging and flipping and flopping. That's how we do that. And plus he gets to speak. Allia and Mixlestix will get to speak. That would be great. We'll be able to do that. Or I can go with my original character, the one I was going to play in the first place. Lil Hammer, Lily. Elli Willowitz. I gave her like a million names and they all have like Lily. Lily. I just went ham on Lily. That's what's up, Lil Hammer. So leave your votes in the comments below. You can shoot me a message if for some reason you do not want to leave me a vote. Or if you don't have a YouTube account and you're just watching this because you know me in real life and you are interested, just text me or whatever, dude. Just let me know. Facebook, hit me up this straight. It'll be cool to do this sort of community style project that maybe you guys will be more interested in the videos and get pumped about it. Find out what happens to this character. If you want to help me create any kind of, add anything into her backstory, say, oh, why don't you try this or do this with them, let me know, man. If it's cool and I think I can definitely get down on it, or even if I think like it's not cool but I can get down on it, I might still do it. Like I tell your niece, man, don't jack me of my 1. If I fail, I want to be able to roleplay that just as much as I want to roleplay that 20 when I critically succeed. Shit, that's just as fun to me. I don't care. I just want to just have an awesome memory of experience. Oh, I remember that time when, shout out to Chandler, you need to come play a game with us again, bro. Shout out, you remember that time when that bag of holding got dumped on that teleporting square, and it, instead of teleporting over the enemy like we wanted, it teleported over our ally, and 40 long swords fell on his head and killed him? Shit. Nobody remembers your booty ass roll that resulted in that, but the fact that it happened is hilarious, and I will speak of it to this, like, till I die. That shit was funny as hell. 40 fucking, how you gonna have a bag of holding full of long swords? That does not work with game mechanics. BT dubs, you cannot have pointy swords in a bag of holding. It will break it, and your swords will be lost, or they will spill out. You know, rolling of your DM, they should be lost, because that's how it works. But whatever, it was pretty fucking funny to have, you know, what's a long sword? D12, 40 D12 worth of damage fall on this man's head. Shit. And he was a main plot character, too. Anyways, whatever, that. We just need stories, baby. That's what D&D is about. If you have a funny story that you can tell about some shit that happened, and campaign's successful. Even if the campaign was actually booty, if like 3 funny things came out of it and it was 3 sessions, you good to go, man. You had fun, you tried it. It's all good. So help me pick my character, Lily, Mixlestix, Allia. Thanks a lot for your participation, and I hope you were entertained, and we'll see what happens. Peace.